Hi everyone, it's Genene, and for today's no inversion short restorative practice, you will need a chair and a blanket, and I invite you to please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and that way you can get notified of all my upcoming videos, including my restorative ones. And I can't wait to hear from you in the comments how this practice works for you. Let's begin in child's pose. Big toes together, knees wide. Doing whatever you need to do to get comfortable, to get quiet. Arms stretched out. Forearms can be up or down today. Forehead on the ground or on your blanket, whatever prop you need. And here's where you can close your eyes and set your intention for this short practice, remembering what drew you to your mat today. What do you want to give to your practice today? And from your practice, what do you want to receive? Draw your hands underneath your shoulders, press yourself up. And from hands and knees, Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. Lift your knees. Take your feet a little wider than your hips now for a gentle twist. Spin both of your heels to the right. And lift your inner thighs away from each other and lengthen down through your tailbone. Inhale back to center. Exhale, twist the other direction. Inhale back to center. And just a very gentle opening for the hamstrings here. Now come down onto your knees, then we'll do more intense hamstring and hip opener, Janu Sirsasana. So stretch your right leg, both legs out in front of you actually. So you get settled, and that's when you may want that optional blanket for underneath your hips. So folded in half, in quarter, whatever you need. Making sure absolutely that you're comfortable here. Bend your left knee. Place the sole of your right foot to the inner thigh. Inhale to lengthen your spine. Exhale to turn the heart and the belly to the right. So you see this slight twisting action, and then choose how far you're going to go today. Are you going to stay here? Are you going to bow forwards? So if that is just the most painful thing you've ever experienced, you can't get comfortable because this is intense, then grab your chair and you can hopefully take your hands to the floor and place your forehead on the chair seat. And then grow quiet. Acknowledging any thoughts that are coming and going. Let them flow rather than trying to hang on to them and rather than trying to push them away. But just like you're allowing yourself to feel what's going on in your body, allow yourself to feel what's going on in your thoughts. Gently begin to walk yourself up and stretch your left leg out in front of you, Dandasana. Take a breath in and exhale deeply. So moving slowly through your restorative practice, giving your body and your mind that message. We're slowing things down. We're quieting everything. Now bend your right leg, sole of left foot to inner left thigh. Inhale, lengthen your spine, and exhale, bow. So some things that can happen if you have any cramping going on in either of the legs, ways to back off are obviously more props underneath your hips would be number one. You could also, if you don't have the ability to straighten your leg, then you could place a rolled up blanket underneath your knee. All these things to consider. The trick is to knowing all these different options that you have for yourself when something happens so that you know what to do, just like in your life. The trick is not to make, to never ever make a mistake ever again in your life. It's to know what to do when you do make the mistake. Not that you want to chase after making mistakes, but just like your yoga practice, this is a practice. And let it be that. Rather than trying to be perfect in the asana. Let yourself have permission in this quiet space to let go of those preconceived notions and let yourself feel what's going on and creating an experience that is perhaps challenging, but it's not at all painful. Inhale, walk yourself up and slowly straighten out that right leg. Gazing straight ahead for one moment. Now take your chair on your mat. Your chair seat is going to be facing you, so one of the Vipariti Karani modifications is going to be your legs on the chair seat without any inversion today. You, however, may need the blanket underneath your hips just folded in half if this you find is just not comfortable for you. So I'll just throw it here for safety and then lie down on your backs. And you can always, we have all these couches here, you could throw your legs up on a couch if you have that instead. But place yourself so that you're comfortable. And again, if you're here and you're like, oh my goodness, my back is killing me, what you do, two things. One, you can put your heels down on the chair seat, lift your hips a little bit, lengthen your hips away from your shoulders, because sometimes you get this huge arch. And then take your low ribs, knit them together. Well, take your low ribs down to the floor. And then, once again, set your calves down. And if that did it, great. If it didn't, that's why you might need a blanket underneath your hips. Once you find your position, just allow your eyes to close. And if you're wondering how to do the blanket, I'll show that. You can put the blanket down first. You can lift your hips a little bit and put it down afterwards. We're going to be here for a while, so whatever you've done, you've created a very peaceful, comfortable, yummy, delicious sensation for yourself. This is often the time when suddenly your thoughts grow thick and fast and heavy. And sometimes practitioners think they're doing something wrong. Oh, I just can't quiet my mind and try to force the quiet. What is often happening is we're getting quiet. The voices are always there. We're not even aware. And now we're aware and we're like, oh, too many thoughts too fast, go away. So instead, allow yourself to be with what you're at and ask yourself, what am I feeling? What am I thinking? Going deeper intensely into those feelings, those thoughts, and notice if you can do that, that they just disappear. That's what they wanted. They wanted that acknowledgement. They're done and they're gone. See if that works for you. Take a deeper breath to invite yourself back, thinking about moving into Shavasana and taking your time, moving slowly. Take your legs off the chair, roll onto your right side, press yourself up, and move all your props out of the way. And once you've done so, then going back into your Shavasana. You may stay here as long as you like. For now, thank you so much for joining me, and I look forward to seeing you soon and hearing how this worked for you. Namaste.